For centuries, humanity has asked the same question in 1,000 different ways. What is reality, and why does it seem to answer us when we least expect it? Every coincidence that feels too precise to be random whispers the same message. The universe is not a machine. It is a mind, and you are part of its thinking. The story begins with two names almost lost to time. Michael Talbot, the visionary who dared to claim that the universe itself behaves like a hologram. Jacobo Grinberg, the Mexican neurophysiologist who discovered an invisible network he called the neuronal field. A field connecting every mind, every heartbeat, every thought across space. Both men died or vanished under mysterious circumstances, but what they left behind points to a revelation larger than either could imagine. Consciousness is not a passenger of the universe. It is its architect. Imagine this. You think of someone you haven't spoken to in years, and moments later your phone vibrates with their name. You dream of an event before it unfolds. You open a random book and read the exact sentence that answers your silent question. We call these coincidences, yet deep down they feel like signatures, the fingerprints of a living reality communicating through patterns. These moments are not accidents. They are intersections where mind and matter meet. Modern science once believed that matter was fundamental, that thoughts were mere byproducts of chemistry. But quantum physics quietly dismantled that certainty. At the smallest scale, particles behave as if they know they are being watched. Entangled photons mirror each other across oceans instantly, as if distance does not exist. The act of observation itself changes what is observed. The universe is responsive, participatory, intelligent. Talbot proposed that the cosmos operates like a hologram. Each fragment of reality contains the information of the whole. Cut a holographic plate into 100 pieces, and each shard still reveals the complete image. Likewise, every mind holds within it the blueprint of the totality. Your consciousness is not confined inside your skull. It resonates through the fabric of existence, shaping events that echo its tone. Grinberg's experiments went further. He placed two people in separate rooms, shielded from all physical communication. When one was shown flashing lights, the other's brain waves reflected the same pattern. It was as if their minds were tuning forks resonating across invisible space. He called this field of resonance the lattice of consciousness, the medium through which intention becomes event. Weeks later, his research funding vanished. Months later, so did he. So, what were they uncovering that frightened the guardians of the old paradigm? The recognition that consciousness is not a spectator of the universe but its source code. And when a being realizes this, control through fear, hierarchy, or dogma loses its grip. To understand how this code works, think of reality as an ocean of frequency. Every thought is a wave, every emotion a vibration rippling outward. When you dwell in gratitude or love, your frequency harmonizes with patterns that mirror those qualities. Opportunities, people, and solutions appear effortlessly. When you dwell in fear or resentment, the same law applies. You draw circumstances that amplify that vibration. It isn't punishment, it's resonance. The universe is a perfect mirror. Ancient cultures understood this intuitively. Shamans navigated synchronicities to locate herds and heal the sick. Yogis aligned with Dharma, the natural current of events leading toward higher purpose. Alchemists encoded it in symbols of transformation. Today we call it the observer effect, quantum entanglement, the holographic principle. Different languages, same reality. Every synchronistic event is a dialogue between your inner and outer worlds. It is reality speaking in its native tongue. Pattern. The car license plate repeating your birth date, the stranger quoting your private thoughts, the melody echoing your memory. All are fragments of a cosmic sentence addressed to you. But modern conditioning taught you to dismiss it. Schools told you thought ends in the brain. Religions told you miracles belong only to saints. Science told you meaning is illusion. Together they sealed the channel through which the universe converses with itself. To reclaim it, you must deprogram the mind. Begin by acknowledging that attention is creative power. Whatever you focus on, you feed. The field reads intensity, not morality. Focus long enough on fear, and the field will sculpt mirrors of fear. Focus on purpose, and pathways unfold with uncanny precision. The choice is yours every moment. There are 3 pillars to mastering this cosmic technology. The first is frequency, the emotional tone you emit. Joy, clarity, compassion, and gratitude are not sentimental virtues. They are states of coherent vibration that reorganize matter itself. When monks meditate, sensors record shifts in electromagnetic fields around them. Plants grow differently. Water molecules arrange into symmetrical crystals. Consciousness is a tuning device, and gratitude is its calibration. The second pillar is deconditioning, removing the invisible program that keeps you blind to signs. Mass media thrives on anxiety because fear lowers frequency and weakens intuitive perception. The more chaotic your inner state, the harder it is to notice subtle patterns. Silence, stillness, and solitude are not luxuries. They are the reboot of your perception system. The third pillar is decoding, learning the symbolic alphabet of the universe. Repeating numbers, animal encounters, dreams, and sudden insights are not random trivia. They are interface messages from the field. The number 111 may signal alignment with new beginnings. 222 may whisper equilibrium. 333 calls for integration of mind, body, and spirit. The meaning is personal, but the method is universal. Pay attention, interpret through feeling, act with trust. When you practice these 3 pillars, reality begins to respond like a sentient organism. Obstacles reposition as hidden gateways. People arrive precisely when needed. You start living not by prediction but by resonance, guided by a rhythm larger than logic. Life ceases to be a sequence of accidents and becomes a composition. But this power comes with responsibility. The field amplifies authenticity, not manipulation. Intentions born of greed or domination distort, collapsing under their own weight. That is why superficial manifestation tactics fail. They imitate the signal of creation without its integrity. The field listens to the heart, not the mask. Consider the implications. If every thought contributes to the collective hologram, then humanity's dominant emotions literally sculpt global events. Wars, crises, inventions, awakenings, all are mass-scale synchronicities of our shared psyche. The world is a mirror of collective consciousness learning to see itself. Changing the world begins with refining the signal you emit. So how do you align your personal signal with the cosmic blueprint? Through daily calibration. Begin each morning with a question, not a demand. What quality of consciousness do I choose to broadcast today? Breathe into gratitude until it feels physical. Observe synchronicities without clutching them. Let them unfold their meaning. Keep a journal of patterns, numbers, animals, coincidences, until you see the architecture of your personal myth taking shape. This practice turns ordinary days into dialogues with infinity. Skeptics argue that this is confirmation bias, that the mind simply filters coincidences to feel special. But confirmation bias itself is proof of the principle. Perception creates reality. If you expect randomness, you receive noise. If you expect pattern, you receive music. The instrument responds to the player. As humanity approaches an era of artificial intelligence and planetary networks, understanding the true nature of consciousness becomes essential. Machines can mimic reasoning but not awareness. Awareness is the field itself, the luminous background in which all data arises. The next frontier of science will not be exploring outer space but inner space, mapping the geometry of mind that shapes galaxies as easily as thoughts. Talbot once wrote, "If the holographic model is correct, it means every one of us is a miniature universe." He was right, but the corollary is even more staggering. If each of us is a universe, then love is the gravity that holds them together. Compassion is not philosophy, it is physics of the soul. When you act with empathy, you realign frequencies across the field, restoring coherence to the collective hologram. You are not a random byproduct of evolution adrift in a purposeless cosmos. You are a localized expression of an infinite intelligence learning to see itself through human eyes. Every heartbeat is a ripple in eternity. Every thought is architecture in motion. Every coincidence is the universe winking to remind you that separation is the greatest illusion. So the question is no longer whether reality is conscious. The question is, will you awaken to your role within it? Will you continue to walk as a sleepwalker in a world of symbols? Or will you rise as a conscious navigator decoding the secret code of existence? When you do, fear dissolves. The future stops being unknown. It becomes unread yet familiar, like a melody you remember before hearing. You stop chasing meaning and start radiating it. And in that moment, you realize that the mysterious disappearances of those who discovered the code were never endings. They were initiations. The torch was passed to you. You are the continuation of the experiment. You are the observer and the observed, the question and the answer, the dreamer and the dream. The universe is not happening to you. It is happening through you. And the only real mystery left is what you will choose to create next.